no one can replace that. And we see him play on the scout team, have a big role in what we do every single day, and people don't notice until it's games like this. You see a lot of guys in his position get put in the game, and they don't make the shots that he did because they don't work as hard as him. So it was really nice to see.
AJ, what was the last couple minutes like for you, and how did you feel with the crowd pop, especially from the student section?
Yeah, definitely, a surreal moment for me at the end there. I think it's a perfect way to recap, my career here playing at State Farm. After I took the first one, coach didn't like that too much. But, just to have the confidence in my teammates to still give me the ball. And I shot the next one with confidence and went in, and it was great to hear the crowd. The Crush especially, who's, they've been supporting me all year long when I get in, at the end of the games. And so I definitely felt the love from them tonight.
AJ, just to follow up, why do you think your story, your path to this resonates the way that it does with the crowd?
Yeah, I think my journey is a little unique. But I just think that it shows that if you put your mind to something, you can overcome barriers, you can overcome, obstacles, things that were in your way. Coming out of high school, I wasn't as highly recruited as I wanted to be. And so I kind of came here, just taking a chance on myself. And I came in every day and I worked as hard as I could. And so, I think that people are able to see that progression, and, it kind of shows that, they can do something similar as well.
Andre, high energy game for you, impacted the game in several different ways. What was kind of the mentality coming into this? What were some of the keys to that performance tonight?
Just to come out ultra aggressive, carry the 2 practices I had over to the game and bring the aggressiveness on both sides of the floor. Defensively, be ultra engaged. We knew being in the gap was an emphasis for this game and moving forward. We talk about how we've gotten away from our sort of defensive identity. I feel like today was a good stepping stone to getting back to it.
Andre, after the Michigan game, Brad said that he didn't care if you ever scored, but he wanted you to rebound and defend. I mean, 12 rebounds tonight. I guess that message sink in from him?
When a player looking back at that game, obviously you question a lot of things, and I think to stick with coach's plan, what that he had for me, was the most important thing. I think the practices that I had carried over to the game, like you said, the defense, the rebounding on both sides, just to trust the process. I mean, there's going to be highs and lows, and I think obviously I was frustrated with the game against Michigan. I also felt like I wasn't myself, so I think the mindset that I had going into this game and moving forward, it was just a carryover from the days of preparation we had the last couple of days.
Andre, could you take me into that night, what it felt like, and how do you get your mind right after that? Because I would imagine that was pretty frustrating.
Yeah, we talk about an adjusted role from my previous year. And obviously for any confident player, it's going to be tough. But I think just, staying mentally strong and knowing that at the end of the day, the coach is going to need each player to do what they do in order to win. So really hearing the staff out and the game plan, that was most important. And I think, not worrying about whatever it is, the yelling, the critiquing, don't take it to heart. Like, just got to put your head down and work. And I think the last 2 days, not only myself, but as a team, we knew we had to be better from that game, because it wasn't just me, it was everybody across the board. We talk about the first play when I think they out-physicaled us against the Michigan game, and you could tell, we felt that from the first possession. So we knew we had to change gears going into this game, and that's what we worked on.
David, a couple fouls for you in the first half, wound up sitting the last 6.5 minutes or so. Did you feel like you just had something to make up for in the second half to maybe, play a little more like yourself?
I mean, I try to play always the same way to engage my teammates, to not be that much selfish. And I mean, my team made it up for me. They were pretty good, and I didn't feel the difference with me and without me off the court, and that's good. Just that shows how good of a team we are. That's it.
David been a really good player. He had 15 and 5, but it really wasn't all that impactful. What was kind of the game plan going in to slow him down a little bit?
I mean, we tried to put me as a 4-man on him because he can shoot, obviously, and to put 5-man on their 4-mans because they are a little worse shooters than him. And I mean, it worked because like I can be more confident in guarding him, especially on the perimeter, because I know that Z, Tommy, they have my back at the rim protection, and everyone was in gaps, and that was emphasis. Like last 2 practices, we talked a lot about it and worked a lot on that, and like it was just much easier to guard when everyone is engaged, everyone talks, and like everyone is in gaps, helping me a lot. And I would just be thankful to my teammates, and that's it.
David, can you take me into the last couple days of practices after that Michigan game? What was important for you guys to do coming down to the final 2 games of the regular season?
I mean, the main thing was probably our physicality, defense, obviously, talk, being in gaps, and I mean that was the main reason we had 12 wins in a row, and we were recognizable as one of the best teams in the country. And when we are back at that, I mean, we have a long way in front of us, but when we are back at that, we are one of the best teams in the country, and that's it.
Andre, after that half-court lob to Z, you looked immediately towards the bench. Kind of just what was going through your head in that moment?
Yeah, just the momentum of the game, how happy I was for him to catch that and make that play. We've had a lot of those passes in practice not work. So I was just glad for him to catch it and finish the play. I was just happy. I looked at Tyler Underwood and we just smiled at each other. But yeah,
I guess Andre and David both, like everyone maybe saw Brad's reaction to AJ's first 3, but what were your guys' thoughts on maybe the confidence for him to pull from about 28 feet?
I mean, like I said, the confident player he is. We finish every practice with half-court shots, absurd shots. So, and he's made them. So, obviously, it was unexpected. I think I put my hands on my head when I was in the game during the moment. But that's Red, man. That's why we love him. Like, we don't blame him for it because everybody's chanting his name. He feels somewhat of the pressure. So, I was happy for him that he got the make later on.
Coach was really mad. We were all laughing. Maybe it wasn't a good timing or momentum, but I think with how great of a teammate he is and how much he dedicated himself to his system, I think he deserved that shot for sure. So I don't have a problem with that.
Andre, just how did that feel to have that performance and to impact your team winning after what happened against Michigan? Just what's that do for you moving forward?
Yeah, I feel like I didn't lose my confidence in any sort of way. Just reestablishing that assertiveness going into the game. Obviously, the defense and the rebounding carrying over to my offense was probably the key. At halftime, all I cared about was getting to that 10 rebound mark, to be honest. And when I got to 6, I was telling my teammates, like, I'm going to go get 10. Like, having won against Michigan and having 2 good practices, like I needed to carry over. So we had a good offensive rebound rate. So, yeah.
David, when Andre is assertive in that way, what's that do for you guys as a team to have a downhill driver, a rebounder, defender in the way that he is?
We have a lot of shooters in our team, and I mean it's really important to have someone that can dunk on someone every game. And like, I mean, we are a pretty good rebounding team, and having him as basically guard forward to get 12 rebounds a game, I mean, he just got to keep practicing the way he did and like to carry over that in the games, and we are in good situation.
You like my nickname, Warner Bros? Yeah. I didn't know what you yelled there. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
We called them the Warner Bros. It's Jeremy's last.
You know, there's us coaches like to think we have some answers, and we usually don't. But the carryover from practice to game was very, very evident with Andre Stojakovic and our team. 2 really good days of practice, but Dre was dominant in practice, and so I know he's back finally healthy. But our defense the first half was really, really good. I thought we did a nice job in our gaps. I thought we did a nice job of helping each other. I thought we did a nice job of communicating. You know, that's a well-coached basketball team, 3 McDonald's All-Americans on it, and a team I know they're fighting, playing without their point guard, but I thought our little things, our contest rate, our mentality of protecting the paint was as good as it's been in some time. So, you know, a few things tonight. We didn't really shoot the ball great. Night it was nice. We didn't have to rely on Keaton and a lot of that as much as we did. But you know, they played zone. And I thought we did a nice job of that. But, you know, I've said it before, I'm not a big fan of senior night. They're tough. I couldn't be happier that AJ scores the last 5 points of the season in here. You know, I told the network he's done one dumb thing in 4 years here, and that was shoot that shot. Just under the 4-minute mark. But what a great young man. 2 other guys in Ben and Kylan that have had outstanding careers and impact our team and impact winning at a high level. So it's always pretty cool to me the culture that those guys establish, and this is always home for them, and I want them to feel that. And you know, it was a good night, and you know, I've got a ton of respect for Dana Altman. He's a Hall of Fame coach. He's approaching 800 wins, and you know, it was a good night for us.
Brad, what do you do to get that defensive, you know, being in the gaps, being active consistently?
Yeah, I mean, I'm disappointed that it slips. I think it's just, I mean, it's all we've worked on. We didn't even work on offense for this game. We spent no time on that end, and talked about a little bit at shoot around, but it's just getting the mentality, the help, you know, when we get in trouble, we get selfish defensively, and then we take it. Well, my guy scored. You know, it's 1 on Illinois. You know, and we have to have that mentality, and we have to help each other, and I thought we did that. We did a much better job of that. And I thought our physicality was much better tonight than it was in the Michigan game.
Coach, with Andre, that little rough patch that he went through, how much was mental and how much was physical, and what do you think was the key to him having this high energy game tonight?
Yeah, I don't think there was anything too mental. I think he was. I think there was a lot of physical pieces to that. You know, when you get a high ankle sprain and it's sore and you're not as explosive and you're not as quick, and then it's just getting back and And I love the fact that I challenged him and he responded. And I mean, Andre is so coachable. And, I said, we need 10 rebounds from you tonight. And when he rebounds at that level, all of a sudden our transition game gets a little better. And, it's some of the stuff that we've had in the past with Terrence with, you can go back multiple games. You can go back to the Iowa game. You can go back, you can pick one. And when he rebounds at a high level, we get some easy baskets in transition. And so it's a really important piece for us. And he provides that. And I mean, you get 12 rebounds in 20 minutes, you're chasing it. And my hat's off to him.
When Andre's able to put the pressure on the rim like he does and obviously finish a lot, but what else does that open up in your offense when you've got that?
Yeah, the thing I like what he does best is not just finish, but I like his passing. He's doing a great job and he's really improved in that area. And spraying it because teams have to collapse and it puts foul pressure on teams. He's a very, very good free throw shooter. But at his size and now he's got that pop back in his legs, that puts a lot of pressure on people, and it's foul pressure. It's layups. He's maybe takes one or two mid range, but most of those things are right at the rim, and then that opens things up for our perimeter guys.
Coach, can you speak to just the comfort you had in that lineup with Ben, Z, and Andre?
It was great in both halves. I think emotionally we were a little probably out of sorts to start the game. Just they got off to a great start, and we actually got some pretty good shots and didn't make them. But boy, we went to that group and it was special, and it was a pickup defensively as well as offensively. And I thought the first group was really good offensively. We just didn't make any shots and missed a couple layups in there, but. That's ultimately what I would love our bench to be, is a pick me up and a lift and a no drop off or get better. And I thought that was what happened tonight.
Brad, what did challenging Andre look like for you? And what did happen in those two practices that made you feel he was responding?
With him, it's simple. He's not a guy that you got to, rip his tail and get on him, but you have to challenge him, and it's conversation, and he's got a tremendous amount of pride, and I think he understands his value to our team. I think he understands what winning's looking like a lot more than maybe he did at some point in his time here. But I don't think he's ever doubted his abilities or what he's capable of. But tonight was a great night for him. But it started with his effort and his work and pride. I mean, he was dominating practice, and I always love to see really good players dominate practice. And we were, like I said, it was some full court, but it was what he was doing defensively and his contesting and his blocking shots and his rebounding, and that to me is his offense will always come.
Coach, all the guys kind of came out here and were laughing about your reaction to AJ's first shot. What was going through your head during that moment, and then his rest of the time out on the court?
That I should take his ass out for shooting a bad shot. Yeah, like I said, he's done one dumb thing in 4 years, but I love that young man, and he's a very good player. He was a Division I basketball player that just happened to come to University of Illinois in the Big Ten, and have his having scored the last 5 points. I couldn't be happier. No one loves AJ Red more than Brad Underwood. I mean, with all the turnover and everything that goes on in this world, that's why I got in this game, and that's why I get emotional when I talk about guys like that. And Geese finance degree, job waiting for him, and he has been a coach. He's been a manager. He's been a player. He's done everything there's possibly could do in our basketball program, and he's done it with first class and as hard as he could do it and the best he could do it. And that's all I can ever ask for. And to me, that's I love that young man.
Brad, I was curious, what was your thought process on starting the game with David on Nate Biddle? I mean, he seemed like he did a good job of chasing him off the arc, and just kind of was curious.
Yeah, it was more about, we felt like we could give a lot of support off the Stewart kid. And he's a guy who doesn't shoot the ball out. They cut Nate into a lot of post ups. He's a very, very good 3-point shooter. David's very comfortable out there, and he's not in as many ball screens. And they space him a lot. But we felt like when his post ups came, we always had some help because of Stewart's inability to shoot the ball back out on the court. So Tommy does a good job. You got 7-1, or you got Z in there helping protect the rim a little bit when he does post it.
Coach, how important is David's understanding and basketball IQ important to what you're trying to do as far as the flow, especially offensively?
Yeah, he's elite. I mean, if we didn't have Keaton, we would all be talking a lot about Merck, and as one of the top, and he is one of the top freshmen in this league. And I mean, we're relying on 2 freshmen a lot to be decision makers, to be action guys for us and create those advantages. And he does a lot. His IQ is off the chart. It's still growing, especially on the defensive end. But his ability to navigate offense is really high.
You mentioned maybe not having to lean on Keaton as much tonight, but he still had like 11, 6, and 5, and 1 turnover. I guess when he doesn't have to be the number 1 guy, but still gives you that. I mean, just how much value is there?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's one of the best players in the country, and not just in the Big Ten, in the country. And it's easy for him. He doesn't force anything. He doesn't, he doesn't. He's got the ball in his hands. His usage rate's really high to have 1 turnover. He just sets the table for us on every front, and if he's got that unique ability, if we needed him to get 30, he can go. He has the ability to go do that. We've seen that, and that's been proved time and time again. But tonight it was spreading it out, and he was very good.
Brad, Tommy's in a little bit of a shooting slump, but what do you want to see out of him? What's important for him?
Yeah, the thing I'm really proud of him, he had a 97% go rate tonight on the glass, which is elite, and it's been something that's much better than him. What I want him to do is keep shooting every ball. I mean, how many times do you have 2 or 3 go out, in and out? He's when he's open, I want him to shoot the ball, and no one's got more confidence in Tommy than I do. And he's got to let that thing fly when he's open. He's one of the best shooting bigs in college basketball. Thank you.